All right, please welcome Texas to the media room. Coach, you leave Maui 2-1. What did you learn about your team this week?
Well, number one, I thought we beat an outstanding team in NC State. I think Will Wade and his staff have done a really good job putting together a great roster, and they're only going to get better. So I think part of it, and these guys knew it, that we were in for, on the third day here, a really tall task of being able to play against a hungry, determined, and good team. I think the hardest thing to do in college basketball is when you go to these exempt tournaments, when there's 3 games in 3 days, when one of them doesn't go your way, to be able to get off the mat, respond, and really play well again. And you rely on your players, you rely on your leaders, and I think Kendall and Jordan, they embodied that. Both guys have a chip on their shoulder to finish their career in a big way, and I thought they really led us here tonight to a big victory.
Any questions for the players? Please raise your hand, and we'll send you a mic. No questions for the players? All right.
Question for Jordan. What was your mindset going to this game?
I know we were coming in playing a really, really good NC State team, so just preparing my guys and preparing us mentally for the challenge. 3 games in 3 days isn't easy. And then in terms of game plan, I knew how they played defensively. They were a heavy gap team. They stuffed the paint, so I know driving kicks were going to be open, and my teammates, gave me all the confidence, and they gave me the right passes when I needed to, and they were all rhythm shots. I'm glad they went in.
Talk a little bit about what you learned about yourselves and about the team over this trip, and what you think you kind of leaving with.
That first game, it was tough, to lose a game like that we felt we had in our hands. So being able to bounce back from that with the Chaminade game and then tonight really shows a lot about our team going forward and what, we're made of. We're a really good basketball team. I think the country will, start to notice that. We just got to keep stacking days and, this tournament, just build on it, and I think we'll be fine.
You asked me too?
Go ahead, Kendall.
Oh yeah. I know that we can play with anybody in the country, and we just got to stay together and stay the course.
Guys, for both of you, you've played against Darian Williams, Terrence Arsenault in the past. What did you know about their game plan going in, and how did you guys stop them today?
Yeah, I've been playing against him since we were younger. We're both from Cali, the Bay Area parts, so he's always been a good player. But coming into this game, obviously he draws a lot of attention, just throwing a lot of bodies at him, making him see different schemes and just, like I said, bodies and making it tough for him. I think we did a good job of that, and we executed well, and I think we made it tough.
Yeah, they're both very good players, very aggressive too on the offensive end and defensive-wise. So I just feel like if we played together as a team, that's what really helped us today.
I got to say, you did, going down the court, give him the 3 sign pretty emphatically. I mean, was that a little personal for you?
We're cool, so yeah, a little personal.
All right. We'll let you guys head back to your team. Kendall and Jordan.
Got you.
Yeah, good job, fellas.
Welcome.
Any questions for Coach? Yeah, you can take that.
Coach, I've kind of been asking this question. You come into the tournament, and I think I may have asked you this. You wake up on Thursday. What do you want to know about your team? What is it that you learned this week that were great things that you want to build on? But what did you learn this week about your team?
I think we learned a lot about our group. We really did. I think you learn a lot about the character, the resiliency, and the toughness. You got to remember that first night we played the late game, and in my mind, Arizona State, they beat us, they earned the victory. But if you were watching the game, and in particular down the final stretch there, we had it. We needed to secure it with made free throws and things that you do. And we weren't able to do it, and a guy made a great shot, and things didn't work for us at the end. But when that happens, it can go a lot of different ways. And you notice on your team who sticks together, who maybe doesn't stick quite together, who you're going to go with, who you're going to go with a little bit more. And especially when you're a new coach, our time together is precious. We've only been truly together for about 6 months right now, 5 months. So it used to be, other than Dalen Swain, for example, you're coaching guys 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 4 years. You've known them. You've known their families. So especially when you're a new coach and staff, time's not on our side in November. And we played some challenging games at Duke, this tournament. So I think we've learned a lot. We've grown a lot. And we leave this tournament better. But make no mistake, being able to get a win today is very meaningful for our group.
Anything else for Coach?
Sean, obviously you have a little bit of history as a former assistant coach at NC State. Was there a little bit more on the line for you today, or was that kind of an emotional one for you at all?
I know there's guys coaching that are older than me. So I don't want to act like I'm the oldest guy to sit here, but once you get past 30 years and you've been a head coach for 20, like all those things are just like, they all blur and blend together. So, you're just trying to win for the University of Texas and love the opportunity and the people there. And, tonight I hope was a win for a lot of people to get more confidence in where we're headed and what we're building and growing. In terms of NC State, I have fond memories of being there. The biggest thing that I learned when I was at NC State is the greatness of college coaching, meaning when I was there, Dean Smith was still a coach at Carolina, and Bill Guthridge took over. Gary Williams was getting ready to win national championships at Maryland. Coach K was really in his prime, coming off of his back sabbatical. Dave Odom and Tim Duncan were at Wake Forest. I mean, I look back at that. Rick Barnes was at Clemson, and scouting and learning and watching those guys run their programs. I mean, that was like some of the greatest moments and days of college basketball. It always makes me love the sport when I think back to those 5 years, and obviously working for Herb Sendek and just watching him fight and build a program in between Carolina and Duke, which isn't easy. But you guys have the right coach right now, and that's why I knew today was important, because NC State's going to win a lot of games this year.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Safe travels. All right, Coach, please welcome NC State to the Media Center. Coach, what did you think about your team's performance tonight?
Well, I just thought, in the first half, it got away from us. We shot too many turnovers. They're one of the best teams in the country, converting off missed shots, and we shot a bunch of mid-range jump shots, shot turnovers, got ourselves down 10, fought back. We missed 4 straight free throws, including the technical, and then the 2 before that. That had given us a little bit of a cushion, and just not good enough on any facet, and I didn't have us prepared like we needed to, and just very disappointing game today, and quite frankly, just a incredibly disappointing week for us. This is not our standard. This is not what we strive to be, and this was it's an extremely disappointing week.
Any questions for Quadir?
Q, you finished with 28 points today. You're high in an NC State uniform, but clearly it's an emotional one for you. Just your thoughts on this game and your performance as a whole, too.
We got to be better. We got to be more disciplined, and we got to lock in more. I feel like our preparation wasn't the best. I don't feel like we was focused, and I don't feel like it's us together as a whole was mentally prepared already for this. I think we didn't take this serious, so one of the worst feelings, really. So.
Van Allen, second game where you've had 20 plus or 16 plus in this tournament, but again, the struggles on the defensive end of the floor. Just your thoughts on this one and what you take away from Maui.
I just always do my best to, help my team out. It's not really about scoring. It's just whatever I can to, impact on both ends of the floor. So I think we just gotta, do better defensively, whether that's communicate, flying around, being more aggressive, putting pressure on the ball, and giving the team, one shot at the rim so we can go out and play our game on the other end. But that's something that we can learn from this while we head back and just continue to develop and, take some days to rest and then come back and get better.
Anything else for the players?
How much did obviously the defensive issues were one thing, but how much did the fouls contribute to that for both of you? But the fact that you weren't able to have some of the more familiar faces out there, Darian Williams with 2 in the first half, Trey Holloman, and then Allen Breed fouling out there late too.
I feel like that affected us, but we wasn't prepared. We wasn't mentally right from the start to the finish. We started off down 10, and then we tried to fight back with the last 20 minutes left. We should have had that grip from the beginning of this whole tournament, I feel like. So that of course, guys know when stuff like that happens, we got to step up. We got to stay together in these moments, and, when we get back, this is going to be this should be a real rude awakening for us. And I feel like guys, me included, should want to get better from this. Should want to get way better from this. Like, this is a disappointing feeling. We let a lot of people down. We had so many fans here. Apologize to the guys that came here and supported us. We had so many people here, and we let them down. We let ourselves down. We let the staff down. And we're going to be better from this. But this should be a rude awakening for the guys, and me included. This should definitely be a rude awakening for us to want to be better and pick up the urgency with everything.
All right, we're going to let the players get back with their team. Thanks, guys. Any questions for Coach?
Coach, I know it's a disappointing loss. When you look at it, there are a lot of things that you were, we think about the points and the pain things out, but it seemed like defending on the 3-point line, they shot well from there. What was happening defensively where folks were breaking down around in terms of the perimeter?
Well, we're going to have to look at some of our defensive stuff. I mean, these guys, we're just not where we need to be defensively. And so I've got to look at all that when we get back and start watching on the plane tonight as we're flying back. But Pope hit some tough ones off the bounce, which he's career 36% 3-point shooter. That's going to happen. But we left 5 open a couple times. We just had too many mistakes. Some of it in the second half. I mean, when we had 5 or 6 guys we really trusted to play, so we had some guys out there that were very worn down. And so that was certainly disappointing. But just all systems break down defensively.
You kind of talked about it there. I'll ask you the same questions as the players, but just your thoughts on how the fouls kind of contributed to that too, where you're having to play with different personnel in that one.
I mean, that had nothing to do with it. We expect that we've got good players, we've got depth. We expect those other guys to be able to go in, and perform. And we don't have guys right now that can turn the page quick enough when things go well or when things go poorly. We don't turn the page. And so, I mean, look, we've got, it's good and bad. We've got really, really nice kids, players, men, young men. We got great people, but we don't have the edge that we need. and we don't play with the edge that we need. And I've been trying to instill an edge, and I haven't been able to get through to them. So this is on me. It ain't them. They're good kids. They're trying, but we don't have the hard edge that you need in these type games, and we just don't have it, and we've got to develop it, and we've got to develop it quick, because it's not going to get any easier Wednesday night. In fact, it'll be one of the probably 3 or 4 toughest games on our schedule Wednesday night. And if we don't figure out some things defensively, and we don't figure out some things, could be on the record books on the bad side for the Pack. So we've got a lot of work to do these next few days. I still believe in our guys. I like the character of our group, but we don't have the edge that we need. This is, our teams usually play with an edge, and we don't. So maybe now that we've been knocked down, everything's been pretty rosy for the last 7-8 months. Maybe now we'll be able to get to work. But I mean, we've got tough ground to plow now. We've put ourselves in a really, really difficult spot, and we got really, really tough ground to plow. As we move forward, it's going to be hard dirt, and so we've got a lot of work to do to see how we're going to respond.
I was going to ask you as a follow-up, I mean, how good is it to have somebody like Quadir on your roster that clearly is already taking that accountability, and somebody that wants to help kind of move that throughout the locker room too?
I mean, we'll see. It all sounds good sitting up here. We'll see. But just we'll get it right. We always figure it out, and we'll figure it out with this group. The problem is we're in a little bit different situation where we have to make some hay in the non-conference, and we've really given away some great opportunities here, and it's really put our backs against the wall and put us in a corner. And we'll come out swinging, but I thought we played much better today than we played Monday in terms of effort. But when you play against really good teams and they're giving their best effort and you're giving your best effort, you can lose. And we don't understand that right now. And look, we could go to Auburn on Wednesday and play an A+ game and not get the result we want. And so, but all we can focus on is playing the best that we can play, and we've got a lot of stuff, and we're going to look at everything. We're going to look at the rotation, look at who we're playing. Thought the one positive from this tournament was that Allen's catching on. Allen can help us, and I thought that was a positive. I thought Vin played, Vin did a nice job in the tournament as well. But outside of that, we've got a lot of work to do. So I agree with Q. I apologize to our fans. We had the most fans here. People sacrifice. People pay hard-earned money to watch us play, and they should be pissed. And so that's why we've got passionate fans. That's why we've got great fans. They're upset, and they should be. This isn't how we should be playing. This isn't the standard to which we play at. And I just feel like that we've got to somehow capture an edge. Maybe I'm sure dropping out of the rankings will be good for us. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. We just haven't. Even against VCU, we didn't play well. We took over 50% of our shots, off the bounce, and we took a bunch of off-the-bounce shots in the first half against Texas, and they ran out with it. VCU couldn't quite do what they did with it. The Texas could. So just disappointing, and disappointed for our program, disappointed for our fans, disappointed for our players. But it's not on the players. It's on me. It's my job to lead the program. It's my job to get everybody right and get us better, get us moving in the right direction. And we haven't done that as well as we need to. And we'll move forward from here, and we will certainly improve and get better, and hopefully play with more of an edge.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
you.
Coach.